Hello and welcome to Real Girl Puberty. I'm Crystal Gazaiden, puberty survivor turned puberty ally, and I'm on a mission to help moms and girls thrive through puberty. Welcome to part 4 of the 4 puberty conversations you should be having with your tween daughter, but probably aren't miniseries. If you've missed any of the previous episodes, I'll leave a link where you can catch up. And remember, if you're not sure how to start these conversations, Real Girl Puberty has you covered. It just so happens that we have a magazine issue dedicated to each of the 4 topics, plus a lot of other topics. So, in this series, we've talked about confidence, independence in sports, and why it's important to proactively support your twin girl as she builds and maintains these skills. This week, we're talking about something that too many of us have ignored, and this is a conversation that I've been wanting to have for a couple years now. It's something that I feel deeply and personally connected to, and it's actually been a little bit of a struggle to even record this episode because I just have so many feelings about it. So let me jump in so you'll have an idea of what I'm talking about, and then I think you'll understand where I'm coming from, and hopefully we can really get a conversation going around this topic. So the topic is the loss of voice phenomenon. Have you heard of it? Do you know what it is? So according to Deborah H. Chinonsky, who I apologize if I just butchered her name, the loss of voice can be described as an experience when a person has something that she or he feels is important to say, but they don't say it. And that person is often an adolescent girl. In my experience, it doesn't even have to be something important to say. It can be saying anything. It can be ordering food at a restaurant. It can be answering the phone. It's just it's compared to selective mutism, but there's really something else happening here. And it can be a short episodic event, or it can last for years. Some girls can grow out of it and do well in the areas of self-expression, while other girls will carry it with them for years or even the rest of their lives. The hard part for me to grasp is that these girls don't even know that they're experiencing it or why they are experiencing it. And if you don't know the what and the why, it's impossible to improve the situation. What does the loss of voice phenomenon look like? Loss of voice can be difficult to detect because when she's around you, your daughter might not even seem like there's a problem. It might be something that she only experiences in the classroom. She might continue to be her usual open and talkative self around family or friends, but at school, maybe she's too scared to speak up. This can be a really isolating and frustrating experience for girls who want to participate in social activities, but they feel too anxious to join in. They might feel like they're letting themselves or others down, or that they're not normal. Girls who experience loss of voice can also be at higher risk of anxiety and depression, and I am a personal testament to that. I suffered extreme loss of voice, and it was followed up with extreme anxiety, especially social anxiety and depression. So why is it important to be aware of the loss of voice phenom? It's important to be aware of it so that you can recognize it in your daughter and provide her with the support and understanding she needs. Girls who experience the loss of voice might feel like they are alone and that no one understands what they're going through. I suffered with it personally for over 20 years, and it took me being an adult and researching these topics and going back through my puberty experience to even understand and realize that it was bigger than me. I didn't know any other girls that were experiencing this when I was a tween or teen or even in my early 20s. And I don't think it's because no one else was experiencing it, but we couldn't label it, we didn't recognize it, so we couldn't connect with it and find a solution to it. So it's important to be aware of this phenomenon because it can have long-term effects on your daughter's mental health and social development. Girls who experience this often struggle in relationships and may have difficulty asserting themselves in the future, which can lead to lost opportunities. By being aware of this phenomenon, you can help your daughter develop coping strategies that will benefit her throughout her life. So how can you support your daughter? We already said that the loss of voice phenomenon can be frustrating and confusing for your daughter, but it can be even more frustrating for you. It's even harder if it's not something you've experienced yourself. It's important to be patient and understanding as your daughter navigates this experience. Avoid putting pressure on her to speak up or blaming her for her silence. Instead, offer support and encouragement as she works to find her voice. It's important to meet her where she is. And here are some ways and ideas where you can learn how to support your girl. The first one is validate her feelings. Let your daughter know that what she's experiencing is real and valid. Help her understand and believe that there isn't anything wrong with her. And share with her stories about times when you felt scared to speak up. Even if you haven't experienced the true phenomenon of losing your voice, I'm sure there's been times in your life where you wanted to say something, but you were either too self-conscious or afraid of an outcome, so you didn't speak up. Have conversations like that with your daughter. Let her know, do you regret not speaking up? Or did it end up being actually a good thing for you to not speak up? Just start having conversations around using your voice. And when you're talking with her, try to find out how she feels and why she thinks she feels that way. And you can create a safe space for your daughter to express herself. If your daughter tends to be anxious when it comes to talking to people outside of the family, you can do some role-playing exercises to help her build up her confidence. This can look like practicing how to order food at a restaurant, asking a teacher for help, or even telling someone that you like their cool t-shirt. And it will feel really uncomfortable, awkward, and maybe silly to role-play some of these situations, but the more that we practice it outside of the live event, the more natural and comfortable you will start to become, or your daughter will start to become, once she is in the actual moment. Encourage your daughter to communicate in ways that feel comfortable for her. She might not feel comfortable speaking in certain situations or around certain people, but that does not mean that she can't communicate in other ways. Help your daughter to find ways to express herself, such as writing, drawing, or using nonverbal cues like nodding her head. By doing this, you're empowering your daughter to communicate in ways that feel safe and comfortable for her. Work with your daughter to set achievable goals. Setting small, achievable goals can help your daughter build confidence and feel more comfortable in social situations. For example, if your daughter struggles to speak up in class, encourage her to set a goal of answering one question per class, or if you need to start even smaller than that, maybe just answering one question a day. And celebrate her successes, cheer her on so she can continue setting and achieving small goals. And I also recommend setting these goals for yourself. You start to be more aware of ways and like the hows and the whens you're not speaking up as much as you actually could be too. And the last tip is to get help. If your daughter's loss of voice is affecting her daily life or is causing significant stress, it could be time to seek professional help. A therapist or counselor can work with your daughter to develop coping strategies and address any underlying anxiety or social issues that may be contributing to her loss of voice. For more support and ideas on how to help your daughter keep and use her voice, check out the Raise Your Voice issue of Real Girl Puberty magazine. There's a 30-day challenge to help you both see how you're using your voice. So, we have made it to the end of the 4 Conversations miniseries. But don't worry, the conversation's just getting started. If you haven't already, make sure to join Real Girl Puberty email list so you can get a free copy of the current issue of Real Girl Puberty magazine. And you'll also be notified when your invitation is set out to join the Puberty Party for Moms. Puberty. Yeah, we're going to talk about it.